Dylan Duel, FridayNightGlory.com, here with Coach Reese of Richardson after he and his team come up with a big road win here at J.J. Pierce. Coach, I'll start with something kind of weird. How many times have you had the fire alarm go off 5 minutes before game time?
That's the first fire alarm. We were wondering if it was going to throw off our kids' momentum and focus. I was really proud of our kids. As we went outside, they stayed focused. We came back in, they stayed focused. And I thought both teams didn't let it affect them. But, yeah, that was the first for me.
Yeah, it definitely didn't seem to affect the intensity of the game right off the start. Both crowds were into it. It was a kind of a frenetic pace at the beginning, but your team pulled through. What do you think was the key to eventually pulling away in the fourth quarter and making this a double-digit win?
Well, first off, it's a great rivalry game for us, and we always know the Pierce-Richmond game is going to be fun, and Mark Johnson's kids play great and play really hard and are well coached. So we knew it was going to be hard coming over here. Honestly, the key in the fourth quarter was our guard play, and our guards took control, and Keaton was great with the ball in his hands and made great decisions and knocked down some shots and also got some of his teammates open looks. And so, and then we finally got some stops and slowed down Drew for a little bit and got some stops, and that was the key for us in the fourth.
You mentioned stopping Drew, mentioning Drew Timme of Richardson Pierce. What kind of challenge does that present? And, I mean, how often do you come across a challenge like that when you're coaching?
Not very. He's one of the best kids in the state. I mean, really, he's that good. And we were sending two guys at him a lot of the game and still couldn't stop him. And he still scored on us. And he's that talented and he's that good a kid. And so we have a lot of respect for Drew and all his teammates. But we were proud of our guys for just continue to battle and make him work for everything and make it tough on him. And we made a run there and took control, and we're fortunate enough to finish.
Yeah, I'm sure that the Mustangs would say something similar about Keaton Wallace and his playmaking ability in the second half. But just really watching him, I was really fascinated by his ability to kind of create perception with subtle movements. So what kind of growth have you seen in him in your time coaching him?
He's shifty. He is really shifty, and he's deceptive with his quickness off the dribble. And he's really good at beating people off the dribble and making good decisions. And honestly, in my 4 years here, he has he's very similar to Brandon Averett last year, and that from the time his freshman year until now, he's improved so much because he's worked so hard. And that's what I'm most proud of about Keaton. He's a great shooter, he's a great ball handler, he's a great passer, he's a great defender, and he's a great kid, and he's worked really hard to be as good as he is right now and to carry us. And he's going to be a great steal for somebody next year at the next level.
You mentioned working hard. Has there ever been much that you really felt the need to motivate him, or is he pretty self-driven himself?
Well, he's very. We certainly need to motivate all our players, but yeah, Keaton's a self-starter, and Keaton's the type of kid when he leaves practice, he goes to the gym and he goes and gets extra shots up, and he goes and works out with his cousin, and so that's not me, that's Keaton, and I'm really fortunate to coach a kid like him, and we have a lot of kids like him, and there's a precedence. I was telling Charles, there's a precedence in our program from the guys who have come before that our best players are going to be our hardest workers, and that's why it's fun to coach at Richardson, because of kids like Keaton and JP and the kids before him like Brandon and Ben, and our kids have always worked really hard, so it's fun to coach those kids.
Yeah, you mentioned some hard workers. I really like the game of Gaddis, a sophomore. Seemed a really solid guy. What kind of building block do you think he might be for your program? What have you seen from him this year?
Yeah, Rod's really athletic. He does a good job running the lanes, as you can see, and finishing. He's active, and he's really stepped up. Our sophomores have stepped up. Rod and Stone Carter, for us, have stepped up and played big minutes for us, and have really been a factor in district because of their play.
All right, we guys got a big district win tonight. Best of luck in the rest of your season. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.